All right, everybody, welcome back to the Sideshow. My name is Mingo.
This is Tony.
My name's Sebastian.
I don't know if you heard, I'm just entering puberty again this evening. So, we left off last week. We were talking about my friend Manny, our friend Manny from high school, right? Lives out in Phoenix. Called me, said, hey, what's your address? I'm sending you a package.
Yep.
Right? And I took a guess. I took a stab at what it was. But boy, was I fucking wrong.
So you opened it before...
Yeah, you know what?
Speaking of stab.
Right? I did, and I'll tell you why. Because he said, I'm sending you a package. I figured it was going to be a brown box with a sticker that said Manny and one in the middle that said Mingo.
Right, yeah.
Right?
That's what yeah.
It came from Prime, and it had my name on it. With like 5 other fucking Prime envelopes that came the same day. So I was like, all right, cool. So I open it up, right? I'm like, what the fuck is this? When did I order this shit? So I grab my phone. I'm hot, dude. I grab my phone, and because what happens is like at the end of the night, I'll be sitting on my bed or whatever, and TV's just kind of noise in the background, drowning out. I'm half asleep, and I'm on Amazon, flipping through shit. I know I don't need to buy nothing, but something in my head said, just look, just look. And I end up falling asleep, and as I'm sleeping, my thumbs get closer to the screen. I've ended up ordering shit like that.
You've ordered stuff on accident?
Yeah, by falling asleep and my fucking thumb hits the buy now button. Or I'll wake up in the morning and there's a bunch of shit in my cart, and I'm like, what the fuck was I doing last night? So I open it up, and I look on I didn't fucking order this. What is this shit? So I'm like, what the fuck? Why would I order that? So I threw it on the couch. I'm all pissed off at this point. And I walked into the fucking room, and as I grabbed the doorknob to my bed, I said, that motherfucker. So what he sent me was... Yeah, open it up. Take a look. I'll let you describe it.
Well, I knew what he was sending you. Oh, you got the nice ones, too, kid. They're heavy duty.
What a dick.
They look real good in the trash can.
Yeah.
Wow, man, he hooked you up, kid.
But come on, man. Plastic butter knives? At least Manny, come on. At least you could have done was sprung for some metal ones, dog. But I know why he did it, because he said I didn't want to dirty them and have to wash them.
You ain't got to... Oh, these are nice, man.
But plastic is bad for the environment, dog. You know what I mean? I'm trying to do the right thing here.
Bullshit you are. What?
He's trying to use the butter straight off the butter stick. You know what I mean?
Can I be honest with you?
Huh.
What?
You buttered something like that, didn't you?
No. A few episodes ago, I don't know if it was during the episode or if it was after, where we were talking.
Yeah.
And I had mentioned that I had something in mind for your birthday as a gift.
That's what it was?
This was going to be.
You called him and told him, didn't you?
No, not at all. I actually told him, I was like, man, I was going to get him for his birthday because he got me those envelopes.
That's perfect.
Man, that's nice, man. Dude, butter your toast and you could be like, wow. Now,
how can you like the other? Okay, so on Saturday night was the fight, right, with the UFC fight, and our friends had invited me over to go watch it. But before I got there, Big Lou, I guess he had brought home fresh homemade tortillas, and his old lady and the kids got into him while he was over at the other house watching the fight. And she had the tortilla, and she was using a stick of butter to butter the tortilla. That's what I'm talking about. She's one of my favorites now, by the way. His wife's on my good list.
And she probably just did it as a goof.
Yeah, he said he said he had never told her. She didn't know nothing about it. Stick of butter, baby. Stick of butter's the way to go. You don't dirty nothing, nada.
Can I ask you a question?
What's that?
You say you order stuff on accident.
Yeah.
Be honest. Were those yellow shoes one of those accidents?
Fuck no. I got the email and saw them, and I was like, those are the shit. I gotta get them.
I could have answered that question for you.
Them shits are dope. Just wait, watch.
I'm waiting.
You'll see.
I can't wait to see them.
First pool party I go to, I'm gonna rock them. Watch. Be like, damn, those are fresh ass kicks. Yup. Yeah, you know who's gonna like them is Ivan and Rob. Mm-hmm. Well, what's cool though is if I really get drunk and I pee myself,
That's what I'm saying.
nobody will ever know. I'll be good. You know what I mean? Just keep the socks really low. I'm good. Perfect. Perfect for outdoor adventure. Let me ask you a question. You and your wife have been together for a long time. Did you ever get sucked into the, hey, so how many have you been with? How many girls have you been with conversation?
Did we have that conversation?
Did you ever fall for that?
I don't know if we've actually asked each other that. Okay. I kind of know the people she's been with, and she knows majority, if not all, the people I've been with.
Good looking out. Good.
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
So I don't think we've had that conversation per se.
No, but now they're going to.
Yeah, I don't think. Honestly, I don't think I want to know. And I don't.
It doesn't matter now. I mean, you guys have been.
That's true. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Unless there's been some added from somewhere in the middle there. So my ex-wife tried to get me into that conversation. I was like, yeah, no, not gonna happen. Why even go down that road?
Sounds like something she'd do.
Yeah. It's like, hey,
did you want to know with her?
No, I didn't care, dude. I was in it now. It didn't matter. It was mine now. You know what I mean? Like, right. It is what it is. But I remember having the conversation with a lot of people. I remember when I was in my 20s, people would ask, oh, well, why is it when a girl goes out and has sex with a dude or a couple of dudes or a bunch of dudes or has a high body count, whatever, she's a hoe. But when a dude does it, it's cool. And I was like, well... And this is my explanation in the 20s. And it never went over well, but it was just my explanation a couple days ago. And
just know that whatever this sly motherfucker is about to say, he still fucking believes. Go ahead. Because I know.
So when you say in the 20s, when you were in your 20s.
Right, when I was in my 20s.
This is what your answer was.
Right, this would have been how I would put it.
But you also just said a couple of days ago.
Yeah, I was just fucking around.
Okay.
So if a girl ever asked, well, it's kind of like this. Like, let's say you're at a party, right? And you meet some dude and you go out and you have sex with him. I equate it to you met some dude and he took his knife out and he stabbed you and he pulled it out and he wiped it off on his pants and put the knife back in the sheath. Even if you go home and take a shower, you still got that scar because it's been in you. See what I'm saying?
And you wonder why he's single.
The penis is the knife.
I get it. Yeah.
So that was in my 20s, that was my asinine, half ignorant kind of.
Okay.
The best explanation I've ever heard came from the Cleveland show.
The cartoon?
Yes. Best fucking explanation I've ever heard, right? They're trying to explain to his son not to be with this girl that he was because she was a hoe, right?
Okay.
And he was like, well, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, look, I'll prove it to you. Anybody want to be with somebody who's had a high body count, and I'll prove it to you. He said, look. And he tells his son, Junior, he said, look, you got a glass of water. It's full and clean. Nothing's ever been in it. It's just got the water that I just poured. Then you got this other glass that's had, 30 dicks in it. Which glass you want to drink from? As fucked up as that is, and yes, it's on a cartoon, right? Like, there's some truth to that, right?
But there's filtration involved, though, isn't there? In between the 30? You're talking back to back to back to back to back. Don't look at me like that.
Does it really matter? You're being nitpicky about when the dick was in there.
No, I'm just being, because when we're, like you said, in the 20s, yeah, of course, that's how you look at it.
That's the thought process.
Yeah. But as you I'm in my 50s, and I'm not saying I have a problem with this because I do have a daughter, but I understand that, as much as we need to figure out what we are going to want in a lifelong partner, meaning we have to be with multiple people to figure that out.
Because they have to find out what they want in them.
Right. And every bit of that pun was fucking intended.
I felt that part wasn't necessary.
Right? Like, okay, so, but I understand, like, times are totally fucking different.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, back in our day, we were doing dirty shit and nobody talked about it. So, like, a girl could have a high body count and not everybody's going to know. You know what I mean? Like, it was different back then. And which was crazy because people, like, we were in the middle of the AIDS epidemic and people were still just tossing it around like nothing. You know what I mean? And then it went to a strange place, like when you were in high school, in that area where, you know, girls were choosing anal sex to stay virgins for marriage. Like, that was God's loophole, right? Like the song said, right? And now you have this era of women that feel empowered and don't see anything wrong with having multiple partners and going out and getting what they want. Get after it. I want it, I'm gonna go get it.
Right.
Right? But here's why I say, if you're a woman and you have a high body count, yeah, you're probably a hoe. And I'll tell you why. Let me explain to you why. Because as a man, I can't go out and choose, I'm going to have sex with her. And it happened. Because it's ultimately up to her. It's her choice. Right? I get it by default. Does it make sense?
It depends on the man.
No. Because the ultimate, but wait a minute. Ultimately, the woman has to say, "Yes, you can have my vagina."
So
it's rape.
Brad Pitt. You think any woman's not going to turn him down?
But it's their choice.
But the choice would be it's a resounding yes, is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
So I mean, for someone like that. There isn't.
Go ahead.
Again,
Go ahead.
You're being nitpicky.
You're concerned with the caliber of person that they're choosing and
how much
the quality of what they're choosing. That's neither here nor there. I'm saying the ultimate choice to have sex is the female's choice. We get it by default. Brad Pitt, he's going to get all that pussy because he's Brad Pitt. He's getting it by default. Mingo not going to get as much as Brad Pitt because Mingo's motherfucking Mingo, right?
Yeah.
So if it's her choice and she's the one saying yes, so she's made yes decision on all the body count that she got 138 people, you know what I mean? By the time I knew this girl, she was like in her hundreds by the time she was like 25, dog.
Hundreds?
100.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Good Christian girl, too.
Yeah, no.
So yeah, I think that because it's her choice, and she's saying, "Yeah, come on in," it ultimately falls back on her. We can't make them have sex with. If we do, it's rape.
Okay, but would you not make an attempt to be with her, even though she's had multiple partners? Excessive.
I was one of the 100.
No, I'm talking long term.
Okay.
Not just for
fun.
Yeah. Let me ask you this:
Okay.
do you know any porn stars by name that suit your fancy? That you are really like, wow, she's bad.
No.
Okay.
I honestly, I don't. I mean,
Okay.
I know some, but none that are like, fuck, dude.
Okay. Well, regardless of that, would
Okay.
you be with one?
I don't think I could, dude. And I'll tell you why. There's a difference between knowing that a girl has been with another dude and maybe has taken a load to the face, as opposed to being on videos and looking like a fucking cinnamon roll. You know what I'm saying? Like
It's a bun cake. Not a cinnamon roll.
fucking like a fucking honey bun. You know what I'm saying? Like I just.
So there's this one video that was going around YouTube for a while, around the recommended pages, where one girl had her boyfriend on, and they were asking him questions behind the camera, like they're putting up fucking cards for the questions.
Okay.
And one of the multiple of the questions have to do with her. I want to read a couple of them real quick. Here. So it says, one question is, does it bother you that your girlfriend gets railed on camera, and railed is in all caps?
Wow.
Let me go to the next one here. The next one is, does it bother you that your girlfriend got piped on camera? Again, piped is in all caps.
And I would assume that, and we'll let you read more here and just go in just a
I
minute.
don't even know if there's more,
No?
because that dude left. He was pissed. That's why it was funny.
But but okay, so if we're gonna ask that question, I think
My search history.
I think we right. They're gonna start popping up all over. No pun intended. The question I think that you're throwing out there is too broad. I think you have to. It may depend on the kind of porn she did.
Well, there's actually two ways of looking at the question. Is it are you deciding from the fact that it's been on camera where everyone's seen it, or is it the fact that she's been with multiple partners? I think those are two different aspects of the question. So let me ask you another question then. Let's say you are dating some girl and you guys are hitting it off and it's starting to get serious, and then you find out she's had 20 plus partners.
Okay, so we're going to get back to that one real quick. I know how to answer your porn question.
Okay, then answer the porn question.
I would not be with a porn star, and I'll tell you why. Have you ever seen or been in a mechanic's car? Their car is always the worst because they've worked on everybody else's car all day. They don't want to come home and work on their own car, so it runs like shit. A hairdresser, their hair is always fucked up with their... You're with a porn star, what are you going to get at home? Like, oh, fuck, here's another fucking hand job. You know what I mean? Like, instead of the, you're going to go, you know what I mean? Like...
Not really comfortable at the moment.
What? Okay, but what if you didn't know when you were dating? When you met her?
If we didn't know she had multiple partners or that she was a porn star?
We'll do porn star first.
I don't know, because maybe by the time I find out, I'm emotionally invested.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You're emotionally invested in it.
Then that might be different. And she's not doing porn anymore. She used to do porn, right?
Sure.
I need answers. I need.
Yeah. She used to do it. She's out of it now.
Okay, so she's out of it now. Then I guess the question would be, okay, babe. Well, everybody has a past. I get it, but what kind of porn were you into? I don't want to see him. But what were you into? And if she said, "Hey, well, you know what? It was mostly anal," it'd be like,
across the board. I mean, whatever paid that day.
And I'd be like, "Well, bitch, where all the money at?"
So, what if you found out just the girl had just a lot of partners? And does your answer would your answer have applied when you were in your 20s? Because I see things differently now that I'm older.
Right. I don't think in my 20s it wouldn't have mattered. I think in my 20s it would have been like, "Hey, fuck, dude, check her out."
Really?
You know who that is? Yeah.
For a porn star?
She's mine. She's here with me.
With a porn star?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
But what if it was a girl that had multiple partners?
Well, then I'd be afraid to be like, hey, you see that girl right there? She was me. So she was me last week. You know what I mean? Like, what do you, like, you know what I mean? It's hard to, like, we joke around about it, but, like, it's really hard to tell, like, because you don't know. Like, for me, my family talks way too much shit for me to come home with a hoe. You know what I mean? Especially if it's in this valley is somebody that knows. So they'll be like, oh, hey, don't you know she was with... I know. You know what I mean? Like, trying to hear all that shit.
Yeah, but she's with you now. So what difference does it make who she was with?
You know, but here's the thing. Here's the... Because I think you have to be a certain kind of person to be in porn. Make sense? Like
okay. Oh, I think I thought we were talking about someone like locally that's been with a bunch of.
Okay, well, so somebody locally that's been with dudes, right?
Okay.
Like, there's two different kind of chicks that'll do that shit, and there's some that do that because they have low self-esteem and are just okay with that kind of lifestyle, like going from bed to bed. Then I think there's the women that are really looking for somebody that can hold them down, somebody that can really love them, somebody that can, but they've made this mental list in their head of the perfect man, and they go through 30, 40 guys, and none of them are that perfect guy. Because they're never going to find that perfect. Nobody will ever fit every aspect of what it is that you want. But until they figure that out, they're going to keep doing what they're doing. But once you come along, and if you can get her to realize that what she's doing is not going to, you're not going to find the fucking person that you're looking for. But here's who I am. You know what I mean? And I think that those are probably some of the loyalist women that you can find.
But so you don't have a problem being with one of those women that had 30, 40
I'm not going to be with one of them. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. You know what, dude? I guess it all depends on her age, right? So, like, if she's our age and been with 30 dudes, like, over 49, 50 years, if you've had 30, 40 dudes, well, that's one a year. Like, okay, whatever. Right? But then again, it all depends. Like, if I was married for fucking 30 years, I've had 29 in the last 3 years. Okay, wait a minute. You know what I mean? That might be different.
You really have a problem with that?
I might. I don't know. It all depends on a woman.
Well, I would think that there's something about her to be able to get. Well, I guess what you're trying to say is the caliber of the guy too, to be in those 30s. Because if she just picked any old John off the street,
that would be different, right?
That'd be different. But if it was somebody, hey, she got along with,
well, yeah, and that's something different, right? Were they all somebody that you started a relationship with and it didn't work out, or were they all one night stands? Like, what were the parameters of your of these and longevity of these people that were with you? Like, what, you know what I mean? Like, were they all just, I was at the bar and fucking last call came and he was around? Well, I might have a problem with that, you know what I mean? But and I think the other thing too is I think that some of the ghetto broads are probably the most loyal, because they grew up with that kind of loyalty and that trust. But here's what: I don't argue. I don't raise my voice. I don't yell. I don't raise my hand. I don't get out of character. Usually. It takes a lot to get me. I mean, do you ever remember hearing me yell at your mom?
That was fucking years ago.
Like, I never.
That definitely was not the answer he was looking for.
Well, the only time I ever raised my voice at her was after we were divorced. And the only reason why I did it is because she called me and she was cussing. And I told her, I said, you need to slow your roll. I said, I've never cussed at you, and I've never raised my voice at you. And I expect that same respect now. So if you need to hang up and call me back once you've collected yourself, we can do that. But I'm not going to get into this. And if you decide that you want to call me back and continue it, you're going to see a side of me that you've never seen. And I will make you fucking cry. I have a very sharp tongue. And once I let it go and there's that loss of respect, it's done. So you just need to calm yourself down. You need a minute or are you okay? No, you're right. I'm sorry. Okay, cool. But I won't argue. You know what I mean? And a lot of these, one of the things that she said, why won't you fight for us? Fight? Like, what do I need to fight for? If you don't want to fucking be here, don't be here. You know what I mean? I want you here. I love you. We're building something together. We've done all this stuff together. But if you don't want to be here, then...
Well, I think we've talked about this. She was just the type that wanted you to show your love for her.
Dude, have you ever been with a girl that wanted to get beat? Time
to take a drink of water.
Sorry. Maybe that came out wrong. That understands or feels love when you hit them?
I've never been with one, no, but I believe I've known someone that was like that, yes.
I don't understand that.
I don't either, but that's how they're wired.
Because I remember my dad, I don't ever remember my dad yelling at my mom. Never remember him raising his voice, or I remember them not talking for about 3 fucking weeks. But shit, food was still on the table. His clothes were still washed. Life was normal. They just didn't fucking talk to each other. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Now well, why won't you yell at me? Why won't you fight? Why won't you? What the fuck for? What are you talking about? Let me go get you a jacket where the arms are on the back. You're fucking crazy right now. What are you talking about? Like, I just don't get down like that. There's no need for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally know.
I mean,
but it doesn't change the fact that that's what you had.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're saying you don't understand it. That's fine. Don't understand it, but just know that that's what you have.
Right. Because I don't know. I don't think I would know how to. I don't think I could look at somebody the same way if I had to raise my voice. Does that make sense? Like, if I had to raise my voice with a woman to get my point across, for whatever reason, I don't think I can, dude.
What am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is, I'm not saying that your marriage would have worked out. Okay, it
wouldn't have.
But what I am saying is, had you done that, in other words, were there things that you liked your wife to do? I'm not talking sexually. I'm talking. It could be anything. Whether it's have your dinner on the table when you got home. Okay, whatever it is. Had your clothes washed and ironed.
That would have been nice.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Had she done these things, would your relationship been different?
No.
Or better?
No. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. I know what you're getting at, I think.
Well, what I'm getting at is there are certain things that you would have liked done in your relationship, and possibly had those things been done, your relationship would have been better. Maybe there are things that she would have liked for you to have done. And, for example, fight with her to show her that, I really love you so much that I'm willing to yell at you and get this close to
doing things I normally wouldn't do.
Right.
Gotcha.
And that shows me that you really love me. So the relationship would have been better. So,
I don't remember where I read this or where I heard this, but, people love the way they want to be loved, right? So you have to, that's a learned thing. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't know how to love your wife when you first met her as much as you probably think you did. You know what I mean? Like, there was things that she wanted you to do or would have liked for you to do that you learned
right, yeah, exactly.
over time, right?
Yeah.
But you had to be open to learn that.
Yes.
I didn't understand that principle. I didn't know that in the beginning of the relationship. Probably throughout the relationship, I'll be honest, whatever. But it was, for me, it was, man, I'm doing all these things, and I'm doing the right things, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and it's never enough.
Well, no, it's just like saying you're doing the right things. What is that? Going to work, bringing home the bacon, making sure she's taken care of.
That's what you're supposed to do. What, you want a cookie? I'm just kidding.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, those are the things that you're probably saying, oh, I did all these things, and I'm doing them right. Well, yes, but there are other things. I can't just go to work every day and bring home the bacon, and that's it. You know, like when you were dating, you got to make time. You got to, when you were dating her, you were working.
Right.
You were paying your rent. You were handling your business, and you were making that time to be with her and to court her and do all those things. So there were things that you were doing for her so she would and want to be with you. So those things that she wanted you to do for her to be with you evolved into, I want this guy to yell at me, to show me. I mean, as
right.
As illogical it might sound, to her it was logical.
Right.
And you just weren't open enough. You, for whatever reason, good or bad.
Always coming at me about some shit.
Good or bad, you didn't want to do it. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You felt that you shouldn't have to do that. That's okay, that's fine. But don't take this the wrong way, but maybe that's what got you where you're at.
Where's your PhD in psychology?
Yeah. He's got it in his wallet.
One.
No, but maybe you're right. Maybe you know what I'm going to do? The next girl I get, all I'm going to do is yell at her.
Hopefully I'm gone by then.
I know we're joking and stuff, but the fact still remains.
He's not kidding.
No, I am kidding.
It's a give and take. It's, there are things that I know my wife wants me to do, and if I don't want to do it, I know I'm doing it because it just makes her happy.
Okay.
I can't give you an example off the top of my head because I don't know, but I know I do it.
Right.
So I'm willing to do that. I know I have to do my part to keep the relationship going.
Right.
It sounds like you didn't want to do your part, which is yell at her, get into a fight with her, fight for your marriage, fight for your love. Why are you looking at me like that?
You shouldn't have to fight for it.
You're
Stop
right.
fucking looking at me. My hands are clean in this.
Yeah, you're right. You shouldn't have to. That's right. You should
I've
not
been
have
told
to.
my whole life that it's not my fault.
It's not your fault.
So I'm sticking with it. Quit fucking looking at me.
I never, I mean, it was the way, but then again, at the same time, for complete transparency, and I'm going to give you transparency like the government does. We're going to blotch some shit out. Yeah.
Okay.
No, like
With some redacted information.
yeah, like part of it too, though. I take ownership of it. Of it. Yeah, right. That was a fucking Freudian slip, right? Ownership of it, where like, my parents, they didn't. I don't remember them sitting down and talking about things or talking about situations or, you know what I mean? Like, that wasn't it. It was, hey, this is what's going on. Okay.
And
Well-
is that what you wanted?
Well, I think that's what I knew. You know what I mean? So going and talking, I don't know.
Because it's funny because your parents were together,
Yes.
okay? Stayed together.
Right.
And so that's what you knew.
Right, but I also knew it from a fact of, like, my dad worked here and there, and my mom stayed at home. So, like, you know, her job was the shit inside the house. You cook, you clean, you smoke at the table, you read all day, you do laundry.
Smoke at the table.
Yeah.
That took a second.
Yeah, it's just a memory that my mom was a fucking chain smoker, bro. She would sit there one right after another, and she's reading these fucking sex novels and shit. Jesus.
Fabio.
Yeah, right? They were all the westerns where they're all fucking, ladies are all sprawled out and their hair's whipped back. And anyways. Yeah, so
I think maybe, you know, if we're going to have this conversation, I mean, I don't know how it evolved into your marriage and mine. You see, I maybe you took for granted your parents being married, and thick and thin, highs and lows, they stuck it out.
well, and her parents had been married forever. Like, they're like, okay, cool, we got a good chance of making this.
I'll tell you what, though. I won't take for granted my parents staying together forever. Oh, wait.
Well, that's what I was leading to.
Maybe it was his fucking fault. No, I'm just kidding.
No, because I wasn't this funny when I was 6.
And maybe you just assumed I don't have to comply with what you want because we're married and we're not going anywhere.
Because I'm the fucking man of the house, and I make the fucking money.
Yeah. And, you know, unfortunately, it didn't work out that way. And what I'm trying to say is I'm a child of divorce. And, you know, my dad was never around. So I wanted to make sure that I did everything that I could, and it's worked out, of course.
Right.
That my kids didn't have parents that were divorced.
Well, your kids should be so lucky.
Fucking Tony's got an empty room. You can put your drums over here. She makes really good chocolate chunk cookies.
And I can take my guitars and stuff over there and probably have more room.
Maybe.
So Dad forced me to say, you know what? It's not just about what I think, what I say. Is what I'm trying to say. I'm the man of the house, and we do what I say. I bring home the bacon.
Yeah, it wasn't like that, but like, yeah, I get it. You know, maybe there was shit that I could have done different. I mean, obviously there was, or else I wouldn't be where I'm at, right? But I think at some point, you when things continue to happen, the things around you become devalued. Is that a good way to put it? Like the interest to fix it when you feel like you've worked tirelessly to make it work.
Be that physically or mentally.
Right. Doesn't help or doesn't seem to change anything. I think you just reach a point where you're just like, I'm done banging my head on the wall. You know what I'm saying? And then go get the fuck out.
One day, it doesn't have to be. It's not going to be today. And I don't know if we'll ever do it. At least on a podcast.
Okay.
I have one other friend that's divorced. I think I've said this before. You're my only, as far as what I kick it with now.
Right.
You're the only divorced person that's in my
close group.
Yeah. So one day, you know, I would just love, for personal benefit, just to, you know, see, like, when did you know it was done, and how did you go about? Who mentioned it first?
So I can tell you right now.
I'm not. We could do this off air. You know,
it doesn't bother me.
I mean, we got Sebastian here. He might not want to hear it.
Have you heard how I fucking talk about my mom?
He loves her. He might be willing to yell at her and argue with her.
Oh, yeah. 17 years of my life I did that shit.
Yeah.
And fucking... It was more closer strung together in the last fucking 4 or 5 years, but whatever.
So, before I say anything, I'm not putting it all on her. It wasn't all her fault. I never said that. I take my ownership of my portion of what happened in the relationship and why we are where we are. Okay. I have my side, and I won't let her come on the air to tell her side. Don't really need to, but
Right.
here's in the last portion of what happened. Okay. I was working in radio in Bakersfield, and I got fired. We got let go of the morning show, right? And so I was collecting unemployment.
Real quick, at this point in your relationship, was everything cool? Everything was normal?
It was semi-normal. It was still functioning. It was still okay because I said, okay, so I'll get out of radio. I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm going to I'll send out tapes, but if nothing comes back close, I'm good. I'm out.
And she was like, okay.
Cool.
We're a family. This is what we're going to do.
Let's make it happen.
Okay.
She says, my mom's best friend's husband works at this cheese factory in Lemoore. They do all the cheese for Domino's. I'll see if they're hiring, and we'll see if we can get you a job. They work really good money. It's odd hours. You work a lot of overtime.
So at this point, if there were problems, they weren't emotional. They were just financial, if for lack of a better term.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
Well, but understand that was only because. Part of that was because she chose to stay home to be with the kids.
Okay.
So I took the burden on, and I did my morning show, I did an afternoon show, and I was simulcast on 2 other stations.
However, it sounds like you were the man of the house.
Yes.
Which is how you old school. I'm the man, you're the woman. Which I'm not. I don't have a problem with that.
It wasn't my idea for her to stay home. I didn't say that.
But yet, was there a discussion that she should not have been staying home?
No,
and
well, we
lost that discussion.
No. What happened was we sat down, and we're like, "Hey, well, do you want to go back to work? Like, what's the situation?" And we sat down with the books. We sat down and said, "Okay, well, look, here's how much we make now, and if you go back to work, you're going to need this much for." This, we're going to need this much for daycare. We're going to need this much for you to do lunches. We're going to need this much. So by the time we did all those calculations, we were upside down.
Okay.
I said, so if you go back to work, we're actually going to lose money.
Yep, I get it.
It's going to make more sense if you stay home, and we budget the money really tight and we stick to what we're doing, and we'll be okay.
And both of you were in agreement with it?
Yes.
Okay.
So, that being said, down the line, we're at this point where I don't have a job. Been looking for a couple months, couldn't find anything. Wasn't getting any calls back, blah, blah, whatever. So, I applied at the cheese factory in Lemoore. And her mom, hey, you got to go take this test. It's a 3-hour math test, blah, blah, blah. It's math and like decision-making process and all that. And I was like, all right, no problem. But, a lot of people fail that test. There's not very many people that can pass it. Well, I'm not fucking stupid. I'll pass the test. I'm okay. So anyways, I take the test.
She's still like that, by the way.
Yeah. I take the test. I was done in 45 fucking minutes, bro. It wasn't I'm good with numbers, but it wasn't that hard of a test, right? And so I finished it. I took it up to you want to check your work? No, because I'm just going to confuse myself if I do that. I'm good with what I put. So when I got home that day, I got a call from somebody about a job in Phoenix. Hey, we'll give you this amount of money to come out. We'll give you a contract for a year. We'll pay to move you out. We'll have somebody come pack up your house. You don't have to touch anything. They'll pack it up and deliver it wherever you want. We'll put you up at a long stay motel here for a couple of weeks until you can find a house, and then we'll have everything shipped over. Because it'll take them a week to get everything, or it'll take them time to package and get everything ready, and then find another shipment that's coming here to Phoenix. What do you say? So I went back to her. I'm like, hey, dude, here's this package. That they're handing us this package of money, and you don't have to worry about moving. They're gonna move everything, blah blah blah. It's easiest move you'll ever make, easy peasy, done and done, right? well, no, I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back over there. You keep trying to be in radio and it's not working out. My dad had the same job his whole life. And well, wait a minute. I'm not your dad. If you want to marry your dad, you married the wrong dude, because I'm on the opposite end of the fucking field from where your dad's at. You know what I mean? I know you want me to wait for the cheese factory no more, because for you, that's safer. And that's where you want to be.
Oh.
I said, but we don't have a response from them yet. These guys are offering me good money, and you're talking market fucking 16. That's the 16th biggest market in the United States for radio. I said, how are you telling me that I've worked this long and to pass that up? I said that I didn't say that to him, but it was more in my head, right? So, we go back and forth about it, and I'm like, I said, dude, I can't. We waited like a week. I told her, hey, dude, give me about a week. Let me figure it out. I'm waiting on this other gig. Maybe it'll happen. Oh, I told her, I said, well, let's wait a week. And if we don't hear anything back, we're going to Phoenix.
Okay.
I said, because we can't wait any longer. We're running out of money. I have no other prospects. I even tried to fucking do Aflac at the time. I went and I passed my life insurance test to try to do Aflac. But you're talking, that's not something that you walk in and you make money right away. That's a longevity project. You know what I mean? Even if you're a badass hitting the road. You know what I mean? Because you got to get through the front person to talk to the decision maker to get in there. Hey, can we come and talk to your people and blah, blah, blah. And then when you train to do insurance, whoever you go out with takes half of your commission. So you're not making dick, right? So I'm like, dude, I'm not fucking making anything at this. It's not like I'm not trying. I'm going out there. I'm spending money in gas, trying to go to all these different places. I'm flailing here. I'm not able to provide. I don't have any prospects. We got an offer in fucking Phoenix. They're not calling us back from the cheese factory. Maybe I didn't fucking pass the test. I don't know. So finally, okay, fine, we'll go to Phoenix. I said, okay, but look. Here's my idea. You stay and finish your 4-year degree. She had one more round of classes to finish her bachelor's degree. Okay? Said what they do the short courses. What is it? 3 weeks? 4 weeks? 6 weeks? Is it on a quarter system? What's a quarter system? 6 weeks in college?
Sure.
So, look, you're going to be here 6 weeks. You stay with your parents. You're going to drive to Bakersfield. It's an hour each way every day. I know that's a lot. I'll send you the money. You figure it out. You know, give me a couple bucks a week so that I can have for gas and a couple bucks for whatever. Okay, fine. So I left for Phoenix. I went and I found us a house. Cheap, dude, $1,000 a month, 4-bedroom house, 2-story, like 2,800 square feet, ginormous fucking house. Even when I filled it with the shit that we had, it echoed. So you know you got too big of a house. And it was all set up when I got out there, right? So I had to come to visit in between time or whatever. And by the time she got out there, part of the argument was because I got let go. I was there a year, and I got let go. But they gave me 3 months severance, and that wasn't even in my contract.
This is the new job.
Yeah, this is the new job in Phoenix. I was there a year with that radio station trying to make it work, and they couldn't. They didn't really know what they were doing, and so I got let go. We'll give you 3 months severance. I came back and said, "Hey, man, they let me go. They let me go today. Oh, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to be with you anymore. I'm done." So my response was, well, I don't want another fucking dude raising my kids. Well, I knew it was over when you said that. You didn't even say anything about me. You straight to the kids. You had already made your decision.
The fact that she gave a shit more about herself than us is also part of my gripe with her.
I never thought about that.
What do you mean?
That portion of it, that it was more about her than.
Well, you don't think her saying I can't do this anymore, she's referring to her and the kids? Because
no, because immediately after she said that, she would say, something about us.
She said, I mean, for real.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you.
She said, why do I need you? I knew I could do it by myself when you left me in California.
Okay, and that was gonna be one of my first comments was, we fast forwarded it from I'm moving to Phoenix, you just have 6 weeks of school left. We went from that to a year later, they let me go, and when I came back, okay, we went from 6 weeks to a year.
Okay, so she comes out there after 6 weeks.
Okay. When you say she comes, they moved?
They moved. Her and the kids moved to Arizona.
Okay.
With me, because they were there in Tulare with her. Her parents watched them while she was going for her last school, right? So she got her degree, and the whole reason was like, it was like, look, if we go out there, and I work and I get fired, I can't get another job making that kind of money because I don't have a college degree. You're closer to finishing your college degree. Go get your college degree, come out. If I get fired, time for you to go to work. And then I'll go to school and I'll finish my degree, and then we can both work and double what we're making. Right? Like that's the progression. That's what you're supposed to do, right?
Yep.
Like it's not about right now what we're doing today, but what can we do to better our future? Here, I laid it out. Here we are. And so she got there, and I was I'd get up at 4:00 in the morning, be at the radio station by 5. But I was also helping programming the station. I was trying to help them do this. I was helping with promotions. Like the lady that was running the radio, the GM for it, she was this really badass marketing lady, dude. Like I learned so much from her. And so I wanted to take advantage of that because I can take that, and if I had to go back to school, I could take my schooling and what I learned there. It's just going to open doors, right? So, well, you took me out to Phoenix and you left me here. You were always at work. You were hardly ever home, Bob. Dude, I mean, but she's right. I'd come home and I'd be tired and blah, blah, blah. But I'm doing this for our future. Like, you don't understand. Like, what part of that don't you understand? Like, oh, well, you work too much. Yeah, but you don't complain when I come home with a fucking fat check. You know what I mean? Or when I got to go out and I got to do a remote and I come back with an extra $500 that we didn't have. Like, what do you want?
If I may? She wants a husband that's going to be present as well as bring home the bacon.
Well, I am present at home when I'm done with all that shit, and then when I come home, all you want to do is argue about me being out there making money so you could get your shit. Like, what do you want? Because she went out there and both the kids were going to school. She didn't want to go to work. I was like, well, why don't you go out and find a job now? Milo's in preschool. He going to the elementary school. Sebastian's already in school. You gonna get you a little part-time job. You gotta work full-time. Just get you a little part-time. Get you out of the house a little bit.
Right.
Meet people. You know what I mean? No. What you want me to do, dog? I'm one man.
Okay. You're right.
I'm just, and again, it's not all on her. It's my perspective. Yeah. It's my perspective. I'm telling you what I saw and how I felt, right? She'd probably tell you the opposite.
And back to the I can't do this anymore. I don't know her. I don't know your relationship. So I'm just going to take it from how I would see it based on if this were to happen to me and my wife, if she were to say those words, to me that means I can't do this anymore. Meaning, I got these kids, we're out here, you're out there, it's not working out, I can't do this anymore. Meaning, her and the kids can't do this anymore. You feel me?
No, what do you mean? Why what's wrong with the kids?
Then she
should have said into it.
Then she should have said we can't do this anymore.
True, but it's more of I can't do this anymore. I'm raising these kids. You're not around.
And maybe you're right. Maybe my mistake was when she said, "I'm tired. I can't do this anymore." Well, you don't fucking think I'm tired? I'm fucking tired too. But I'm here. What happened to Hate for Life? Like, this was our one time, our one deal. Like, what happened, pimpin'? You know what I mean? So I get it, dude. Like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't have spent so much time at the radio station. You know what I mean? But again, I thought I was doing the right thing for my family because I was looking at the future. I wasn't looking at right now. I wasn't looking at today. I finally got to the point in my life where I could look ahead. I could look at, okay, Buck, so she's going to go to school. She came back from school. I'm going to go to school. And if I get fired, I'll be able to get another job. Right? I was looking to advance us. And everything was about right now. That makes sense?
Yeah, it totally makes sense.
So, and maybe I missed it. Maybe I missed some cues. Maybe I missed what it was really about. I don't know. But it just...
So then you get back. I can't do this anymore. I'm out. I don't want somebody on the man raising my kids. Blase, blase. When does it hit you that, oh, this is over? Right then and there?
No. No. That happened in November of 06.
You coming back and
yeah,
she's
me
saying,
coming back and telling her blah blah blah. So I call my mom, let her, hey, this is what's going on, blah blah blah. So my mom does this thing, used to do this thing with everybody in the family. She'd give everybody in the family new socks on Christmas. This was her thing. Everybody knew Christmas Day you were getting new socks because you family. And family needs new socks on Christmas. My mom sent a bunch of fucking Christmas gifts to us in Phoenix. And everybody but my wife got socks. Everybody but my ex-wife got socks. She said, where are my socks at? Like, you want a divorce, dog? You ain't family no more.
Okay.
Like, it was just my mom was more pissed off about it than I was. You know what I mean? And my mom a gangster, dog. I tell you, she stabbed her sister with the fork. So
hold on. So this happened in November in California.
No, in Phoenix.
Okay.
We were still in Phoenix.
Okay.
And after I left radio, we stayed there for another couple of years. Yeah, because I came back out here in 08.
Okay, so November of 06, she tells you this.
Yes.
And that Christmas, she didn't get socks.
Correct.
So we're going to do the progression. From November 06 to that Christmas, what's the relationship like? Are you still in the house? Are you?
Well, yeah, and you know what? The craziest shit anybody has ever said to me. I think we should live in the same house. You live downstairs in the extra room. I said, you out your goddamn mind if you think I'm going to stay in the same house with you. And you have some dude come pick you up. I tell you what, right now, as long as we're in this house together, if another motherfucker pulls up in front of this house, you better be on that phone quick because I'm going to drag him the fuck out that car and I'm going to beat the fuck out of him for disrespecting me and coming to this house. And you better go lock yourself in a fucking bathroom because I'm done. Are you threatening me, brother? No, I'm just telling you. I'm just fucking forewarning you. You wanted me to fight for you? There the fuck it is. That motherfucker coming out, I'm going to fuck him up. Just to let you know. And, yeah, she didn't like that very much. But I said, why, if we're divorced, why live in the same house? Well, for the kids.
What were you doing for those 30 days?
Well, I was sleeping in my bed. Shit, I paid for it.
Where was she sleeping?
In the bed.
Okay. So, now we're talking Christmas. So at Christmas Eve, before you opened the socks and found out she ain't got no socks.
Yeah.
Were you still thinking we could probably work this out? We're still living together. Maybe something's going to take a turn.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Because I think at that point, shit already had the you can live downstairs conversation. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to let my kids see me living downstairs and you guys upstairs and we're not together. It absolutely makes absolutely no sense to me. I said, I'll tell you what we will do, though. We can go get apartments. We'll get our own apartments on opposite ends of the same apartment complex. You can have your life over there, and I'll have mine over here. Fine. We'll do that. Cool.
So Christmas,
So come January, the end of January, we were living in apartments.
Okay. Now, you're still married, living in separate apartments.
Correct.
January. At this point, it's done. You realize it's not gonna. Okay.
Right.
Who initiates the actual paperwork?
We both did. We talked about it because hey, well, what are we doing here? Because come taxes, you're going to want your tax money, and I mean, you know what I mean? So let's figure it out. So, okay, well, one of my aunts or some shit works out here. So she called up her aunt, and we went in to go see her aunt, and the aunt was like, hey, listen, I can't represent you because I'm representing her. She says, but what we can do here in Arizona is we'll come to an agreement, whatever it is. You guys both sign on it. I'll take it in front of the judge. The judge agrees to it. He'll sign off on it, and it's a done deal. All right, cool. So we did that.
And throughout this whole time, you guys are civil with each other? Everything's cool?
Yeah. Yeah, we've never. I mean, just that one time where she got out of pocket cussing. Other than that, we've been fairly cool.
You actually had to sign a divorce paper?
Yeah.
After that signature, and you're walking away. What's going through your head, if you remember?
Can I be totally honest? I never realized how fucking miserable I was until I walked away.
Meaning, when you walked away after signing those papers, a weight was lifted from you because you were so miserable and you're no longer miserable?
Yes, and nothing about not with my children.
Oh, of course not. No.
I mean,
yeah,
I would fucking hope not. I'm sitting right here.
Yeah, right?
The fuck?
Well, but that's why I threw it out there, because I didn't want you to be like, fucking, it was because of me. You know what I mean? Yeah, dude, I would just...
Well, no. Okay, well...
Can I just say, that would be a shit way to find out that you had a problem with us kids.
Yeah, right?
By hearing it on the podcast sitting next to
Well,
you.
how stupid would I be letting you guys stay here for this long and we having a problem with you?
When you say you never realized how miserable you were,
Right.
was it the miserable of that December up until this point because it was over, or even before that when you guys were even together? I mean, obviously, moving into this apartment and you're away from them and it's becoming a reality. Yeah, that brings a certain level of misery.
No, you know what? That was such a great time, dude. Because I took a job at Aaron's there in Phoenix, in Chandler. And I would come home, or on my days off, they would come over, or on weekends when I was off early, and they'd come over, and my apartment was right by the pool. We were in the fucking pool all the time. Like, I would pick them up from school. Like, we got to spend a lot of time together, right?
Sure.
I know you really don't remember, right? Yeah.
Well, I mean, like me, for example, I don't remember my parents being together.
Okay.
They were together when I was born.
Conceived, right?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And even after that, because I've seen pictures. You know what I'm saying? But I don't remember. But what I do remember is, my dad banging on the door of the apartment trying to see us, and he's drunk, and my mom is telling him no. They weren't together, but he just, you're my woman type deal. The old school.
Yeah.
I should be here. And she's like, nope, can't do it. And then he'd break down the door and he beat her up a couple of times. I kind of vaguely remember that.
Wow.
So, yeah, I get it when he says he doesn't remember.
Yeah, I would never engage her like that. I know that it only takes a phone call, and the first one to call, the other one's going to jail. So I didn't want to fuck around like that. I wasn't anywhere near family, and I didn't want to drag my family through any of that kind of bullshit. So I just,
Okay, so now you guys are in these apartments, and you're officially divorced.
Yeah.
Who moves back to California first?
She did.
And she took the kids.
She did me dirty.
Yep, she took us.
Oh, don't take this the wrong way, but she should have. I mean, who's got custody?
We had joint custody.
Who had the more time?
It was 50-50. I actually probably had the more of the time than she did.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Punk.
Jesus.
How'd she do you dirty? She just packed up and left?
No, what happened is we had been talking. So, hey, I'm going to move over to this. because I had a 1-bedroom apartment, and what I did is the 1-bedroom was really big, so I had my bed, and then they had a futon that they slept on, but I just left it open, and theirs was here, and mine was like this, right? And
You just left it open while they weren't there?
yeah. It's not like I was having people over.
Oh, it's like a butter knife. It's
right?
Like, why? Yeah. Why do I have to?
Right.
Why use it so I have to watch it? Why do I have to put it up?
Yeah. Why do your bed in the morning? You're just gonna come back and get right back in and fuck it up, right? So, you know, I had that 1 bedroom, and I was like, hey, I think I'm gonna try to get this 2-bedroom over. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Blah blah blah. Dude, I had that motherfucker 3 months. I had a 2-year lease on that bitch. Say, oh, by the way, I think I'm going to move back to California. But you couldn't tell me that shit 3 months ago? Oh, well, you know, I want to go back to be close to my parents. Dude, she moved back to Tulare, and you guys were there 6 months? I'm just throwing it out there. A very short time in Tulare before she moved in with the new dude.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. You're right. Because he would go over. I remember that. He'd bring his dogs over to fucking... Didn't like the guy. He was mean when we first met him.
Really?
Yeah. And then...
Why didn't y'all ever tell me all that shit?
I don't remember. But he brought his dogs to, like, swoon us over, and then he moved up to Tehachapi, and that chapter of my life began.
Why, to play devil's advocate, why were you so upset she didn't tell you before you signed the lease? Why? Oh, let me rephrase. Why were you more upset? And because it's what you told her that she didn't tell you before you signed the lease, instead of saying you ain't taking my sons, we got joint custody. You can't leave the state.
Well,
And the reason why I asked this is because you said, she says I can't do this anymore, and you're saying, you know, she wasn't concerned about the kids when she said that.
Well, because I remember him telling me at some point that when she had said that, he said, "You're not leaving the fucking state with my kids."
So you did say that?
yeah, of course.
Oh, okay. Oh, you just didn't.
So,
say it.
well, I didn't know you were going to fucking 007 me. So, there was just a lot of, and after that, like, she moved, and I was like, fuck, dude. Like, I was spinning out of control.
Right.
Because I'm like, fuck. Now I don't have a wife. I don't have my kids. I'm not the radio guy. Like, what the fuck? I didn't want to move back here. I wasn't ready to come back to California yet. So I called my sister. I'm like, hey, dude, I can't think for myself right now. My head is so fucking spinning. I said, she's moving back to California. She's going to go live with her parents, but I don't want to move back to fucking Palm Springs. I don't know where to go. I said, but I can't be this far away from my kids. So, well, I just bought a house. Why don't you come stay with me? Blah, blah, blah. And you can help me fix it up.
How far were you from us in Arizona?
Well, Phoenix is 4 hours from the border, and then 4 hours from here, so 8 hours.
Okay.
So I moved.
Yeah, you moved
half the
somewhat
distance.
closer.
Yeah, I mean, it was still far, but it was where I needed to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm not shitting on you for it.
No, I appreciate that, but that just. So, anyways, so I moved to Northern California, and I used to drive down there.
Your sister lived there?
What?
You said your sister lived there?
Yeah, because at some point my parents had moved up to Watsonville, and which is just outside of Santa Cruz, and my sister had worked for a couple of different places there in the Bay Area, and she ended up on the San Jose side of the Bay, and so when my parents moved down here, she stayed up that way, and she ended up buying a house up there in Hayward, up in the hills, and so she said, well, why don't you come stay with me? You can help me do some of the renovation, and you can help me, you know, you could stay. And she said, dude, I'm working, I'm making good money. If you want to go to school, you can, you know, whatever you want to do. All right, cool. So I went, and I looked for jobs. I couldn't fucking find one. And there was an Aaron's like 8 minutes away from where I lived. And I was like, fuck, I don't want to fucking go back and work at that place, dude. But I walked in, and the manager was there, and he says, well, you're lucky. He says, I just fired my sales manager yesterday. Cool. Here's my...
You said you were what?
He said, you're lucky?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right. So I gave him my resume. He said, all right, well, let me call him and I'll call you back. All right. So he called and he called the manager and they called me back. He says, I don't need to interview you anymore or do anything. Just come fill out paperwork. You can start tomorrow.
So
Cool.
when they left Phoenix, how long till you packed up and came out here to California, Northern California?
Just within a couple of weeks because you guys were there when I was packing up. That was when we had the Nerf gun fight.
Yep. Because the whole family was there.
Yeah. And my whole family, my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, my nephews,
My cousins, yeah.
they all came out to help us move. So we loaded everything up, and my brother had never flown before. He's afraid of fucking airplanes. He jumped on an airplane and flew out there. Dude, I had a truck at the time, and I rented a small U-Haul behind the truck, and the truck was packed, and the back seat of the truck was packed, and there was 3 of us in the front seat, and we're driving back, and we were driving through the desert. We were getting to the California border. We were like, fuck, we're hungry. And we had gotten drunk the night before and went to breakfast that morning. And my sister took the tortillas from the place. Oh, hold on. She reaches in her purse and pulls out. She had 3 tortillas in there. We fucking rolled them up. We must have looked like some fucking downtown Mexicans rolling through the desert eating tortillas, sitting three in the front seat of the truck, dude. I was like, holy shit. But, it was good times, dude. We got all the way back up to fucking Hayward, Union City right there. We took my shit to the rental place where you buy space.
Storage center?
Storage center, there you go. Dude, we played fucking Tetris with the boxes. She had half of it full, and with the other half, we were able to fit all of our shit into that. I mean, there was no, like, you opened it and shit was right there.
Yeah.
No, we Tetris the fuck out of that thing, dude. And I stayed there for about 8 years. And
How long?
About 8 years.
With your sister?
Yeah. Yep.
You lived with your sister for 8 years?
Yeah. I was paying her rent. Not like I was just fucking living rent free. I mean, I was paying her a good chunk of change.
Wow.
But that's how I was able to save money to come down here and do the shit that I've done. Because I was managing that store there in Hayward, and we were the most profitable store in California for, I don't know, like 6 years running. So, I mean, I was making decent money, so I was just putting it all away. Came back down and handled business.
So, do you remember your parents together at all?
Kind of. There's a few vivid memories that I have of being in that 2-story house. Like, I remember there was a monsoon once that knocked out our fucking power. So me and my brother went and stayed up in their room and had their window open, and I couldn't fucking sleep for the life of me because I hated thunder. Mesmerized by lightning, loved lightning, hated thunder. Don't know why. Didn't know what the fuck was wrong with me. And then there was one where I remember I had wanted that fucking ship. That, like, Lego type
Oh,
ship.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I'd gone home and they'd had it. I don't remember much else, but I remember the backyard. It was kind of like Diabelle's backyard now, right?
Yeah, it's just all sand, yeah.
Yeah. I remember walking to the pool. We couldn't swim in the pool once because there was a monsoon coming.
Yeah.
And they saw lightning, so they said, get out. Or heard thunder first and said, everybody out. So, I remember a few things here and there, but
Remember we used to walk to the park right there next to the house?
I don't remember.
When we were in the big house?
Yeah, like I said, I remember my earliest memories are my dad picking us up for the day.
Oh, wow.
Just, again, I don't remember them doing together.
Well, in 2008, he was 9.
Yeah.
So Milo was 6.
Yeah, I remember very vividly, too, at your house. I don't remember if it was, because if it was 2009, the third one hadn't come out yet, so it was the second one. They came out with those Pirates of the Caribbean pens.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Had little character heads on them. I remember having those at your house.
Yep.
Fuck, I remember vivid shit. But at that point, you weren't together, though, because that was at the apartment.
Yeah.
But
No, that was up in Diabelle's house.
no.
What, the monsoon stuff? Yeah, that was at the apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else? Nothing? Cool. I got something else for
Well,
you.
what's funny is I remember all this stuff like from Tulare onwards. Not anything before that.
Yeah.
Have you? I don't know how deep we can go.
Fuck it.
I'll tell you.
Have you had any? I'm sorry, bro.
Have I ever tried to hit it? Is that what you're saying?
no. Whoa. Have you had any serious relationships since then? Anything serious?
No. No, and part of that is that I knew all women my age were going to have kids, and some would be their age. And I never wanted to not be able to go see them and then be able to say, my dad couldn't come because he's with his other family. That was important to me. I didn't want to do that to them. So I left myself available to not have that happen.
So in other words, it's our fault. Kidding,
that one might be.
listeners.
No, I'm just kidding.
How long?
Not your fault. It was important to me.
How
Thanks for the
long?
clarification.
How long after you got divorced did you get your first piece?
A couple weeks. I know you told me the story.
Yeah. Couple weeks.
A couple weeks.
Yeah.
I know who it was, and I know what bedroom it was in. So, right?
Whew.
Should we say?
I don't know. Who do you
Wasn't
think?
it the babysitter? And
Oh, no. I wish it was the babysitter.
Oh.
Goddamn.
then I don't remember who it was.
So,
Wait. What bedroom would it have been in? It had to be his.
Well, yeah.
He's not gonna do it in your guys' room.
Well,
I
we shared-
already
we
set up for you.
I remember what the room looks like. Is what I mean.
so this girl, she went to ASU. We
Oh.
had got her together. We had met her together.
Who's
Me and my ex-wife. While we were still living in the house because since she was going to have an apartment, she needed to go work to pay for it. All of a sudden, she can get a job. But anyways, so I found this girl on one of these. I'm going to say one of these dating apps, on one of these babysitter apps, right? And or babysitter websites or whatever. Oh, she looks good. So we called her over. I called her, hey, blah blah blah, this and that. I said, maybe you'd like to come over. My wife and I would like to meet you, and blah, blah, blah. She said, well, it's kind of late. It's going to be kind of late and out of the way. Would you mind if my sister... Fuck, please, bring her. So I don't want you to be weirded out. Just bring her. Yeah, that's
her
cool.
sister?
Her sister came with her.
Oh, okay.
So this girl walks
That's
in,
why
dude.
I thought it was her.
And holy, my lordy lord, oh fuck lord, she was fucking hot.
When I remember, the babysitter was hot too.
She was so smoking hot, bro. I didn't even need to fucking interview her. But I was sitting there and I'm leaning forward and I'm asking all the questions. And my ex-wife's just leaning back looking at me like, you're an asshole. I said, you're the one that wanted a babysitter. So what would happen is I would get the kids at night when I get out of work. I had to go pick them up and then come over to my house, stay the night. So they'd stay the night. So she'd have to come to my house in the morning. Dude, one time she came to my house in a nightie. In a little, just down to just, oh my God, dude.
She'd have to come to your house at night?
No, in the morning. She'd come in the
okay.
morning. I'd pick up the kids at night and they'd stay the night. So she'd have to come in the morning to watch them when I went to work. And I remember one day, she was a cheerleader for ASU as well. And she said, hey, do you mind if I use your computer? I was like, ooh, shit, I didn't erase my browser history. And she was, she said, I said, yeah, go ahead, that's cool. And she says, yeah, she says, I just did a photo shoot with a bunch of my girls. She said, some of them are kind of a little out there, but I'll leave them on there if you want to check them out. Okay. Cool. And sure enough, dude, I fucking went to work, and holy shit, dude, I came back and she had these pictures on there from when she was from this photo shoot, and I was just like, oh my lord, dude. And then she would come to the house dressed like that in the morning, and I'm just like, oh my God, dude, what do I do? What do I do? Because I didn't want to hit on her and be wrong,
Right.
and then be like, fuck, I don't have a babysitter now. You know what I mean? But then again, I was like, well, do I shoot my shot or not? And so I'm trying to find a good picture of her so that you can see, like, from back then. Hold up. So that's her in the middle right there. That's her face, anyways. She was gorgeous, dude.
Her?
Yeah. You don't think she hot?
Yeah, she's very attractive.
Yeah. That was my babysitter. Well, I mean, that was their babysitter.
So, was that the one...
She would come over at 90s and shit. Yeah, dude. I was like, holy. I know you're surprised that she would go. Yeah. I'm with you. I get it. She had a banging little body, too, dude. She got a baby now, though. It's not mine. Just thought I'd throw it out there. I mean, shit, you know?
You know, you feel the need to throw it out there. I feel as though it should be common knowledge that it's not.
Yeah.
But you throw it out there, and it makes me second guess it.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. So, anyways, and then we had this other babysitter. So Milo started going to, what is it? Not before first grade?
Preschool, kindergarten.
Went to preschool, right? And the chick,
Is she alive?
Laura? Yeah. Oh yeah, she's very alive. Was his teacher, right? So
That was TLC, right?
yeah, and she would talk, and she would, I mean, she was the nicest girl in the world, dude. Short little Italian chick, just flaming hot,
From
bro.
what I remember, she was a bitch. She tried to force me to eat corn.
Just flaming hot, bro. And she used to work out, and she was like, I mean, she was fit, and she would just. And one day, I had picked Milo up, and we were, talking back and forth or whatever. And I was never like aggressive or any like hinted with her in any way. Like I tried not to flirt with her, kind of. I guess is what I'm saying, right? And because it just happens, shit like that. When you get around certain people or whatever, you start to talk, and next thing you know, you're flirting without knowing you're flirting. But anyways, I would walked away, and she'd come around the corner. And she said, "Hey," and I turned around. And she said, "I like those kicks." I was like, "Hey, thanks." So I, try to gather myself, and I walk around the corner, and I'm like, "Hey, you still got it, baby." You know what color they were? They were yellow, bitch. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. But she had become the boy's babysitter, and her and my ex-wife had become semi-friends, I guess you would say, But she knew that we were getting a divorce and that blah, 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 or whatever. And she was dating this dude, and the dude had a baby or a kid.
Dude.
So she was like, "Hey, why don't you bring the kids over? Both of you guys come over. We'll go swimming and the kids and blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, oh, this is not going to fucking be good, dude. I don't know if I could sit around with her in a fucking bikini and not just stare, not gawk, right? And so we get there, and I'm in fucking shorts and a t-shirt, and like I didn't plan on getting in the fucking water at all. Like there's not, you weren't gonna get me in the water. Like it was just gonna be a bad idea. Like I wouldn't be able to contain myself. I'd be saying shit. Like shit just would have gone sideways. So I'm sitting there, and like I'm here, and my ex-wife is about where he's at, but we're sitting opposite. I'm on that side. So she goes, "Come on, just get in the water with me." Not my ex-wife, the babysitter.
Right.
And I'm like, oh my God.
And the ex-wife doesn't have a problem with any of this?
I have no idea. I wasn't even looking in that direction, dog. Because I didn't want to know at that point, like, all right, it's just fucking happening right now. We're just gonna let it happen. We're just gonna go with the flow, see what happens. So she says, "Well, if you don't get out of the water, I'm gonna come get you all wet." And in my head, I'm thinking, fuck, I would have just said, shouldn't that be my line? And sure enough, dude, this girl gets out of the water in her two-piece little bikini that comes just to the top of her hoo-ha and come and sits in my lap. And not, when I say that she comes and sits on my lap, not on my leg, bro. Like, she can't, like, I had to squeeze my legs together for her to sit on my lap. Like, or she would have fallen through kind of thing, you know what I mean? Because I sit with my legs wide. So, like, she came and she sat down and, like, she got all my shit wet. And I'm like, oh my God. What am I going to, like, what am I going to fucking do? Like, what, in my head, I'm like, in my head, I could see myself grabbing myself. What are you going to do? What's your move? Don't fucking, you're going to fuck this up. Don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it up. And I was like, fuck, dude, I don't even remember what I said after that because I was just so in awe that this fucking broad was sitting on, like, she's sitting on my lap, soaking fucking wet, right next to my ex-wife, and my kids are in the fucking pool, like, 2 feet away from where we are, like, fuck, how do I say anything? Like, this is gonna be all fucking bad or it's gonna be all fucking good. Like, what? I failed, bro. I didn't shoot my shot. I failed.
Well, didn't you say she had a boyfriend?
Yeah, but
What happens if the boyfriend comes home and wants to start a fight with you?
we'd have gotten down, bro. Whatever.
Yeah, from what I remember of that dude, it wasn't.
Whatever, dude. She was sitting in my lap. Hey, that's your girl? That's your girl? Yeah, then fucking control her if you don't want her sitting in my lap. Your friend ain't with me, it was her. Because if that was your girl, she wouldn't have been in my lap.
And this is the reason why I'm asking this question is because you were saying, don't have another man come pick you up at this house.
Well,
because I'm going to go over to whip his ass.
Well, yeah, but I told her that I was coming after her next.
What if that man would have said, hey, man, if that's your girl, you need to handle it. I'm just here, hey, I don't know.
Well, I don't know if you'd have been able to say that between getting popped in the mouth or not, though. You know what I mean? That's the difference.
Because, it's one of those things that, when you always say...
A bikini like that, bro.
When you always say that if you catch another dude with your old lady, you're going to beat his ass. When is your old lady is the one you should have a problem with, not him. Because you'd probably been doing the same thing. He probably didn't know she had a man. You know what I'm saying?
Random thought. I remember being at their house once, and that dude was watching something dirty on his fucking laptop, and we were supposed to be in the fucking room, all three of us kids.
Really?
Playing with their badass little fucking kid, and we all came out, and the little kid, come here. We all looking, there's titties.
Oh, the little kid was watching. Yeah. Oh, shit.
No, the dad was.
Oh, okay.
But the little kid ran out and saw it and was like, come here. And there's titties all over the screen and whatnot. It's like, this is the living room.
Yeah,
From what I can gather, that is... I don't know what I'm... like, from what I gathered...
Out open.
Yeah. And those two were together. It's like...
So... if you were to meet someone now,
balls deep. I'm just kidding. Which isn't very far. I'm just going to throw it out there, but it is what it is.
If you were to meet a girl now and it got somewhat serious, are you going to ask her how many dudes she's been with?
Fuck no.
And if you found out that she was with a lot of dudes, what do you do?
Be part of the statistic.
Because
Well,
an hour ago,
well,
once you had an issue with it.
Once you take a drink of the 30 dick cup, what's the difference? I guess you just got to finish the cup. You know what I mean?
What if she had multiple kids with multiple dads?
I don't find that necessarily bad.
Really?
Yeah.
I kind of do.
Well, the only reason why is because some dads probably have better jobs than others, so that child support that's coming in is going to be nice.
Then at that point, she's having kids for income.
Yeah. Don't think that doesn't happen.
So you really don't have a problem with multiple daddies? Baby daddies?
I do and I don't, dude, because you know what? Having children is a part of life, and to be blessed with a child, you're blessed, right? Like, it is. But, there's certain women that have multiple daddies that have gone on to be very successful, strong women. And you got to applaud that. Would it work for me? I don't know. All depends on how, like, if they're all fucking knuckleheads and they're all involved and I'm going to be getting in a fucking argument every time I come home, probably not.
I mean,
because here's the other part. I don't want to fucking meet people's families. Fuck, no, you
And
go.
I'm the same way.
I don't want to fucking go, dude. Like,
did you say you're the same way?
If I have to meet, hold on. If I have to meet his girlfriend's kids or whatever,
right?
I don't want to. I'm
I
good.
thought you were referring to like if you were
No.
dating somebody and having to meet their family.
No.
Okay.
Like, and I don't know what's worse, having a chick with younger kids that are growing up that you're gonna have to raise, along with, you know, the baby daddy and their family, and because you got to think, dude, when you get involved with somebody, you get involved with her and the kids and the baby daddy and her family and their family and whoop de whoop and wada
and
wada.
the other dude's family.
Yeah, and it's gonna become too much. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
So
I wouldn't. I don't think I could do it.
So what you do is you get yourself a sterile woman.
A what?
wow,
A sterile woman.
fucked up, dude.
What?
But then you have the other end of the spectrum, right? Again, I mean, a woman that's got kids that are all grown up. Man, I don't want to go fucking meet somebody's knuckleheads, dude. Kids that are like in their 20s think their shit don't stink. You know what I'm saying?
That wasn't subtle, and I fucking caught it.
You know I love you, son.
I know it does, and I'm proud of it.
Well, because if you're gonna at this point in time, based on your age,
Ooh, he called you old.
if you find a woman, she's most likely going to have kids.
Right.
Most likely going to have kids in their 20s, if not late teens.
Well, so here's what she's either gonna have to be over 55, and her kids are grown and successful, so they're not coming asking mama for money. You know what I'm saying? Or they're gonna have to be in their 20s. But I don't think I make enough money for when it's in her 20s. I got some work to do.
So to be more realistic,
Ooh, ouch.
she's going to be our age. She's going to have kids.
You make it sound like you already know her. What's her name? What's going on? When do I get to meet her?
So the whole point of this episode was Thousandaire Matchmaker.
Yeah, right?
Got to hook you up with somebody, kid.
Ooh.
I don't know. Our boy Rob was saying that the other night at the casino, telling his wife, "Hey, you don't know." Hey, dude, trying to hook me up with nobody.
Why not?
Cause, dude, it was Rob. She gonna be some
Yeah, you don't
fucking
need a hyena.
barrel-shaped chola with a fucking half mustache and a big
Dog, his
mole.
old lady works at the hospital. You talking about nurses? You talking about
Or
that's-
one that's about to die.
Well,
administrative
bed.
offices?
Well, that's cool then. If she a nurse, because in my shape, if we started knocking out, she might have to revive my ass. Clear. 1, 2. Yeah, Sebastian, call 911.
I won't be home.
Said, let him fucking die.
I won't be home.
Do you think Milo
Ooh.
has any
Hold on, let him ask the question.
All right.
The rest of it's
has
important.
any
Reservations?
no
Objections.
no
Input? Fuck no.
effects of the divorce?
Yes.
Because
with-
if he doesn't really remember you guys being together, I can imagine he definitely doesn't remember you guys being together.
I think he has more than he realizes that he does.
Probably. It's probably subconscious.
But I think that there's a lot more from what I say from the divorce, I mean from the time that we divorced to the time he came to live with me, all that time. I think there's a lot of things that happened in there that had shaped him to the way he was before he got here, and then a lot has happened to shape them into who he is now, the Fleekmeister. And then Milo, I think it affected Milo a lot more than him in 3 ways. I think because Milo always talks about going back to Phoenix. And I said, well, what's your drawback to fucking Arizona? What's your draw to Phoenix? I just remember that being the happiest time. So
How
like,
depressing of a comment is that, Tony?
so like when we were all together and that everybody was, because for a long time, hey, you ever think you're gonna get back with mom? I said, bro, she's married to somebody else. I'm not gonna get back with your mom. She had a baby with somebody else. I'm not gonna get back with your mom. You know what I mean? It's not gonna happen. It's not in the cards, son. And it's nothing about whether I love her or whether I love you or anything else. It's just not meant to be.
You really think he remembers you guys being together?
Yeah, he brings it up. Well, he hasn't brought it up in years.
Well, when he says, "I remember those times being good," I mean, he could be thinking about the separate apartments, and yet,
you're right. He was, because he would remember. Oh, that was the time we used to go swimming and we used to hang out and things were light and all that kind of shit.
Well, and the one time that the whole family was there with
Yeah.
the Nerf guns and we had the spray tattoos on and shit.
Oh yeah.
your family was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm saying is he doesn't know you guys being together. He only knows
The
you
myth
guys-
of it. Yeah.
you guys being apart.
Right.
So how does the divorce affect him if he doesn't know he doesn't know you guys being together?
Well, because I think there's still a stigmatism to being divorced. Not as much as when we were kids, but
Probably not as religious.
No, I think it was probably worse when we were kids.
that's what I'm saying.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. Nothing like when we were kids.
Right, okay.
Because it happens a lot more often now. So I think that people are a little bit more okay with it than back then, and or accepting of it, not as judgmental. And I think that he's carried that with him, and I think there was a few deaths in his life during that time that really
Shut him down.
yeah, it really spun him in a really awkward way. One was the last one was a teacher that he was really close with, and he just a switch flipped at him. He went from being this, really nice, loving kid to distant and like no, and then it all happened right as he was hitting his teens and all the hormones and all the other crazy bullshit that happens when you hit a certain age, and his mother wasn't equipped to deal with him. And I think the icing on the cake, the last thing that really spun him out of control was when his mother said, "Hey, I can't deal with him anymore. Come get him." And made him move
In
mid-year.
essence, kicking him out. Let's call it what it is.
Kicked him out mid-year. I don't want you anymore. I can't deal with you. Go live with your dad. I think that had such an adverse effect on him, and that we're still dealing with the repercussions of that. I think that hit him so hard. And, the little things that have happened in between that you've been privy to have been just little stabs for him. And I mean, one day he got off the phone with her and he's crying. He says, how is it that the woman that is supposed to love you no matter what can treat me like that, can say those kind of things to me? I mean, my first instinct is to, chop her head off and chew it in front of him. You know what I mean? But I can't do that either, because I have to leave that door open.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So what do? All you can do is hug him and tell him that, it'll be okay. You just we gotta figure it out. Let me help you. What can I do? Here's what I think we can do. Let's try this. Let's do this. Blah blah blah. And it's been a really, really difficult transition from him being angry to kind of where he is now. And not that he's in the best spot, but he's definitely not a rotten kid either. Now, the other way that I say that it had an adverse effect on him and that we truly fucked him up is that we showered him with gifts because of our guilt. And we bought his affection. And I think that was both of us that were doing it. And I think that that's come back to bite us in the ass probably over the last 4 years. Has really, really done that, and I don't think that I've dealt with my guilt of it because I continue to let it happen. I don't. I've put my foot down with him more as of late. Would you agree? I mean, you see it here more than anybody else.
I don't know. I don't talk to him.
But for a long time, there wasn't any of that. It was really just, yeah, okay, whatever. You like, really placating him, and
even when I would tell him that that's what he was doing, he couldn't see it. From an outside perspective, dude, you're giving him all the rope to hang himself. He hangs himself,
and I give
then
him
you
more
cut
rope.
him down and resuscitate him.
Yeah,
And keep giving him rope. I 3 or 4 times I had to tell you, and even still, it was like, well, there was always excuses for him.
I mean, but you call them excuses, but you guys are two totally different people. You know what I mean?
But from my point of view, they're excuses for him.
Well, from your point of view, it's probably hurtful because we didn't do that for you, and we treated you differently because you, like, Milo's a squeaky wheel, and you're not by any means on any front. And so,
is there any jealousy
Probably, yeah.
of you towards him?
I think it's more resentment.
I think it's probably gone from jealousy to resentment.
Yeah.
Because of how they baby him, and
For years, I've watched him get away with so much shit and pin so much shit on me because I'm the older one that it turned from jealousy to, like, it turned from, hey, why do you get away with so much shit, to fuck him for getting away with so much shit.
And one of the reasons why I say that is because that's kind of my brother and I as well.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the baby, and I got I got away with more stuff than he did, and it never peaked at resentment. There was probably a lot of jealousy there, and of course I was jealous back. He got certain perks because he was the bigger brother, but I was babied because I was the youngest. But we never reached that point of where we fought, but brothers fight.
Right.
But, I mean, where you're at now, as far as, you don't speak to him and stuff like that, we never got to that point.
And the shit part is, I don't talk to him because I know that it's going to end in a fucking fight. And I'm going to be the one that gets pinned for it because I'm the older one. So I choose not to talk to him to make my life easier.
And part of that is that, again, Milo's very flippant, very, whatever. You know what I mean? And doesn't care about anybody else's feeling like a fucking 18-year-old boy normally does. To where Sebastian is the world is very black and white. Either it fits in this fucking box or it doesn't. You know what I mean? And he talks to you and treats you accordingly. I think that he could learn to be more flexible. Not talking about with Milo, just flexible in general, and learn to live a little bit outside of your box. Because
called the comfort zone for a reason.
Because you can't. Because I see it, and I'm afraid that you'll live your life angry, and it's gonna wear on you so much, being angry about shit that you can't control.
Because Milo is, in a sense, acting like an 18-year-old.
Right.
You never acted like an 18-year-old.
No.
So, are you envious that he's able to act like an 18-year-old? And that's why you're mad at him?
I don't think that's what it is. I think I'm angry at him because I'm scared for him.
I can see that, but you shouldn't be, because he is an 18-year-old and this is what 18-year-olds do.
Again, you can't control his decisions. So being angry at his decisions the way you choose to be is only hurting you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think he is a learning process for you in that you see the mistake. Like, you've never gone out and As
Over the car?
as far as I know, you've never gone out and attempted to make the mistakes that he's made.
Oh.
Whether it's drinking or smoking or girls or cars or whatever. I mean, fuck, for the only lies that I know that you've told were about, yeah, I took the fucking test for going into the military, and hey, I got a job at fucking whatever it was for a while.
I didn't know that was going to come out, but whatever. Yeah.
I just, we'll throw it out lightly and glaze over it.
Yeah.
But
I think I heard that before.
Oh.
did I tell you about that? I don't think I told you about that.
Fuck
Did
it.
we
I
talk-
lied and said I got a job at Winco for about 3 weeks.
Yeah, you said.
Oh, okay.
We talked about.
We
this.
talked about it on the air too, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't remember that. 'Cause
Didn't you
I
say in
remember
the
that
parking
pretty
lot?
vividly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah. So I think it's those kind of things. Is like he's adventurous and does all this crazy shit, and you see him get away with shit, and you get frustrated, but you haven't put yourself out there to see what you can get away with. And by all means, that is not a request. It is not
invitation?
It is not an invitation. I'm not telling you that
It is
that's
not
what
a
you need
get
to
out
do.
of jail free card.
No, but like there's certain things that like I wish that you would do for yourself. And I got to tell you, you've grown exponentially. You've gone and you've done things out of sorts for yourself without me pushing. Like going to the Real Curl's house for the party, and going to your Primas party in DHS, like doing things that are out of pocket for yourself just to test the waters. But you need to grow in that adventure. You need to take the confidence that you've gained and let that move you forward. Does that make sense? And I think that once you start to do that, it'll change your perspective of Milo, and it will change how you deal with him. The thing about the difference between you and Milo, and this is what scares me, is that no matter if somebody put fucking weed or cocaine or, well, you might try that, but certain drugs that, and if you say no, if the first words out of your mouth are no, the chances of you doing that are slim to none. If he starts off by telling you, no, I'm good, he's not going to fucking do it. And no matter how much you try to coax him, it's just going to get fucking worse.
If anything, I'll get fucking angry.
Yeah. He's going to be knee deep digging his fucking heels in to his no, to where Milo would be like, yeah, fuck it, let's try it.
Yeah.
But I was probably the same way as Milo. Although I was I think I'm a little bit more calculating than he is as to when and how I tried shit.
It's almost like you didn't, for whatever reason, experience, maybe I'm saying it wrong, adolescence as your brother is able to. And you became an adult, and not that it's bad, too soon. You knew right from wrong too soon. You didn't try to blur those lines by going out, partying,
Well,
smoking.
like we fucked Milo up by giving into him and trying to buy his affection and please him. We were the complete opposite. Like, he was the first one, so everything was no. Hey, don't. Hey, whoa, ooh, hey, whoa, hey, whoa, hey.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know what I mean?
The first kid is always the real. You got to be real cautious.
The one
You're
wrapped in
learning.
bubble wrap.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
And then when you get the second one, it's like, whatever.
yeah, and the proof is in the house. Like, you know what I mean? And I think that, Sebastian has, I hope you don't mind me talking about this, but I think you have an unhealthy fear of letting me down and letting your mom down. For however you feel about her, at the end of the day, if you did something that she would disapprove of, it would bother you.
Fair to say.
The same, and
That's why I lied about a job for 3 weeks.
and I think
while looking for others.
Yeah, and I think more so, more than your mother, I think your grandmother, your nana. I think you would be more.
That's stretching it, but
You think?
yeah.
But because there was times where me and your mom would talk and be like, "Yeah, I was talking to Sebastian. He just said he was afraid to tell you." I'm like, afraid to? Why would he be afraid to fucking tell me? Not like I'm gonna fucking beat him and shove him under the bed and tell him don't come out until he changes his mind. I mean, I get it. I get it because I think that, and I appreciate the fact that you have a healthy, an overly healthy reservation about my reaction, but sometimes I don't think it's realistic. You know what I mean? And I don't understand where some of that comes from. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It makes me feel bad that you feel like you can't do shit because you think I'm gonna be angry at you. Like, fuck, dude, I'm in your corner. I'm your champion. I mean, fuck, dude, your music, you want to fucking draw, you want to become a ballerina, whatever, dude, I'm fucking with you. You know what I mean? I'll help you do whatever. But I also, if you found yourself in some shit or did something that you didn't do, hey, I'm still your dad. I'm still in your fucking corner. And if me doing that shit for Milo doesn't prove it, I mean...
And I think that's why is because that never happened to me. It's because I've never been so adventurous as to fuck up that I've never needed you that bad.
Right. But you understand that, not that it's not okay. And again, I'm not telling you to go out and fuck shit up. I'm just saying you need to let your guard down and live a little. I know it's easy for me to say, but your life has come to a point to where you need to do that. And I'm going to tell you, and I say this wholeheartedly.
Fuck.
No. And
he's thinking this is not what the podcast is supposed to be
right?
about.
I'm not supposed to sit here and be psychoanalyzed.
Yeah, right.
I sit here to be a dickhead and laugh at each other.
I know that you've mentioned about wanting to move to Los Angeles.
He's going to tell me not to.
No, it's quite the opposite. I would hate for you to leave. I would.
Because the podcast would lose a third.
Well, that's besides the point. But I would miss you. Like, we do everything together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm here. But I think that if you stayed, and if you stayed because of me, or if I asked you to stay, it would be the worst thing that I could ever do to you as a parent. I think that if this really happens and it's available to you, you need to take that fucking leap and go to Vegas and learn, or go to LA and learn to live your life and learn to be adventurous. Because you know what? LA is going to be a motherfucker. Not to scare you, but here you are in this little town with all of your family. You know that at any turn we're here, right? Mm-hmm. If you go to Vegas, you're a small speck of sand on a big beach.
Yeah.
And it's going to be different walking on the street or whatever and nobody noticing you. My fear is that the city eats you. And what I mean by that is that you don't realize how minuscule you are until you're in a big city like that. Because it can, even though there's so many people around you, it can alienate you and make you feel that much more alone. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't want you to feel that. But, again, in my heart of hearts, if you stayed because you were afraid that I wouldn't be able to make it without you, you need to go. And I would hate, again, I'd hate for you to go, but I think it's an adventure that you need to have. That would be so wrong if you stayed. What do you say?
This is kind of like when we were talking a few podcasts ago about the casino. And we were talking about how he was sitting with you and the adults. Everyone was speaking. And I mentioned something, and I didn't want to say it, but what I was meaning was I said it. I put it myself in that position when I said I could have been in his position, sitting at the table with these adults, but I would have been looking at the bar across the way in front of me, thinking I should be over there because that's where the fun is.
Right.
I was trying to say that's what he should be doing.
Right.
He should have been like, yes, I'm here at this party, and I'm going to stay here because the reason I'm at this party is for the guest of honor.
Right.
Okay, and that's why I'm here. But deep down inside, I want to go over there.
Where them
'cause
girls are
that's
at.
Yeah, and that's where the party's going. But I'm cool. I'm here because of this party. But
Right.
I really want to be over there. That's what you should have been saying inside yourself. So, yes, you need to put yourself in that position to where I think you guys have a great relationship. I think you guys are close. I think that's fantastic. But yes, you need adventure. You need. I loved it when you were going out on Friday nights with the old girl, and I loved to have heard the stories afterwards. And that's what you should be doing. You shouldn't be hanging out with Dad.
Our Monday podcast should be about what happened to you over the weekend.
No.
You know what I mean?
I don't do shit anymore.
But that's what we're saying though. Like this is like right now you're 21. Right now is the time for you to be sowing your royal oats. You know what I mean? Like you should be out meet. I'm not saying go out and dig down every chick you meet, but you go out and
That's what
meet
it
people.
sounds like.
Well, just go out and meet people and live life because you're not going to know what's out there until you're out there. Right now, you have all of my perspective of what's out there, and that's not healthy for you. You need your own perspective of what's out there. Make sense? Mm-hmm. I'm not kicking you out.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Like, please fuck off and go to LA already.
So what's it? Or is LA something we're talking about? No, as far as on the
I'm talking
podcast.
about,
As far as on the podcast.
Yeah, we can. I don't care.
What's going on in LA then?
Me and a couple of friends are looking at houses out there to rent, to move.
Where are these friends coming from?
One's already in or close to LA. He's in Mission Hills, and then one's in Tehachapi. We're all high school friends. I'm talking about moving into a house together in LA, maybe possibly a fourth. That's not a fucking invite to come ask if you can come to move to LA. I'm just saying.
See, that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
And now's the time for you to do something like that, because when you get older
And you have responsibilities.
and you have life really begins where the way you are now, you have to be.
Yeah.
So like right now is your time to be able to do stuff like that, to experiment, to experience. And I hate, and I don't want to.
Just say it. Spit it out.
I love your relationship, but you need to. You Dad needs his friends, and you need yours. And you guys, at the end of the night, can talk about what each of you did.
Does that make sense? Like you know,
Yeah.
you
And there's nothing wrong. I am not at all saying what you guys have is bad, but Dad has had his fun. You need to have yours.
Yeah.
I'm on round 2 of my fun, or maybe 3. So keep a lookout.
He's got a
ladies.
different-
At 60.
He's got a different kind of fun now. It's hanging out with you, which is great. I think that's so cool. But Dad needs to let you go out and do your thing too.
Yeah.
So Dad,
I'm giving you your wings.
Oh.
but no, the
Your
LA
freedom.
thing
I'm
sounds.
a peacock. You gotta
Yeah.
let me fly.
Yeah,
the
pretty
LA
much.
At
thing
this point,
sounds
you've
good,
thrown me
man.
off the roof 6
Can
times.
you get a transfer with work?
I gotta talk to them about it. I don't know how my GM's gonna feel about that because my GM loves me, but we'll see.
Well, that should help you out.
Yeah,
Should
if,
have been
if, if he's a true GM,
Yeah.
She,
she.
because females can be general managers, Tony. Your daughter's gonna love that line.
Yeah. Right.
And with my kids, it's almost the same thing. When my son's still in school, but my daughter, hey, have fun. We're not. She she's in limbo right now because of COVID and all the things that she wanted to do. And it's like, well, have as much fun as you can right now, because once your life starts, once your career starts, it's over.
Yeah.
Your life starts.
Then you're working.
It's 9 to 5, Monday through Friday for the rest of your life. So until that happens, go out and have as much fun as you can. Don't raise that body count.
Yep. What?
I think that's the opposite of what he's telling me to do.
So
don't raise the body count while also raising the population.
Yes,
that's what
there you go.
It's like at the casino we were talking about that because Rob's son is having his fun with the girls and stuff,
right?
And they're saying, well, he can't be planting his seed. He can't be planting his seed.
Right.
He's like, yeah, he should be just spreading it. Just don't plant it.
Yeah.
Just spread it. I'm
like
not
that.
telling you to do that. But what I am
he's telling you to be spray butter. Just
when we were graduating high school? We were already out of high school. My buddy Rick was from his grandmother lived up in next to San Francisco, one of the cities out there.
Okay.
And we were going to move out there.
Oh, that's right. You were telling me about that.
And dude, at the last minute, I chickened out. And of course, everything worked out.
That's what I'm afraid I'm going to do. I don't think I'm going to, but that's a fear that I have that I'm going to do is...
I won't let you.
I do, and I kick myself in the butt because it could have been a great experience for me. I could have had fun. Of course, things would have probably worked out differently for my life, and I'm more than happy the way it worked out.
Look.
However, I should have went. I really should have went.
I packed my life into 1997. I packed my life into two bags, and jumped on an airplane and
went to New Mexico
and got into radio. And later on down the line, I had you guys. So don't be afraid to see what's out there in life, dude. Like, there's so much more to the world than here and Tehachapi, and now's your time, dude. The longer you wait to see the world, and what I mean by see the world is, I'm not telling you to travel or whatever, but see the world. Like, get out. Like, even here, go there, go find places, go have a drink with somebody. I'm not telling you to go to the fucking bar and get shit-faced, but go have some drinks with some friends. Like, go hang out. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fuck it, go talk to a chick. Okay, fuck it. Maybe I'll probably never see her
We're
again.
not there yet.
Well, that's what the drinks are for.
About it.
That's what the drinks are for. You know what I'm saying?
It's called liquid courage.
Yeah.
If my birthday night was any fucking consolation.
Right? They're called libations for a reason. Okay? Heavily on the lie part.
If you guys are talking seriously about this LA thing, where's it at right now?
We've all like the one that lives there, he's looking at houses and sending them. It's like, okay, well, we can go visit that one. We can go look at that one. We can go look at that one. We like this one. This one's cheap. This one looks good. This one looks spacious. Like, we're fucking scrolling through houses like a fucking Rolodex right now.
So
and it's
is
just a matter of picking out a few that are in good spots and going and looking at them.
So have you guys said by July we want to do this?
No.
All right.
So no set date.
Next is cutting out time to go look at the houses, and then once that happens, it's
So you're narrowing
a snowball.
right now. You're narrowing the scope and then
Yeah.
figuring it out.
Yeah.
Right on.
Wow.
Fucking scary. The amount of times that dude said, "Come out and live with us," like, okay.
You want
Like,
to know?
well, yeah, it's like, yeah, okay, cool, sounds good. As like a passing joke, but then he was like, "No, seriously, here's a house." That's how it started. It was like, "No, seriously, here, look, these are places that I've been looking." But okay, you have anybody else?
There's a running joke as far as my brother and I moving out from my mom. And the running joke is my mom got remarried, so she actually moved out. So she had to leave us in order for us
to get out.
To get out. I was 23, maybe 22, 23. So my brother's like 3 or 4 years older than me. So he was like 26, 27, and we were all living in an apartment.
Well, that's about what. That's. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And she met my stepfather, and after I don't remember how long they were courting for, and then she was like, "I'm getting married. I'm gonna go move in with him." So we were like, "Cool." And again, the running joke was, in order for you guys to finally leave your mom, she actually had to leave you.
That's how it was too when my parents lived here. My dad was working for the county here, the county Riverside, and then I was like the first time that they had budget cuts or whatever. So he was the last one hired. They cut him. He got a job up in Watsonville, Northern California. My parents came, "Hey, we're moving. Do you want to go?" I said, "Man, there's no way I can fucking move to Northern California. I won't make it out there. Like, I'm good. Like, I'll stay here." I said, "Okay, well, you can stay here. You take care of the house. Don't pay us any rent. Just pay the water and the electricity and blah, blah." All right, cool. Shit, about 3 years after that, I was packing my shit and I was headed to fucking Albuquerque. But shit, water was off half the time. Electricity was off here and there. Like, fucking no cable. I watched Friday, The Lion King, Cool Runnings, and one other VHS I had, and that was it. It was a treat when somebody came over and, "Hey, dude, I got this." "Oh, cool, pop it in." Shit. Fucking Airbud and shit. Like,
Yeah, dude, you need those kind of experiences, kid.
yep.
I'll get there.
All right.
Yeah, no. I want to. I'm going to do it. It's going to happen.
I think you
at
should.
some point.
I think it'll be
At this point, I don't think I have a choice with what you're telling me. So,
Well, and again, it's not that I don't want you here, but it's an adventure you need to have. You need to be out there, and thanks for waiting for me to build a fucking pool to do it. Here I am building a super nice backyard for the kids to be here, and they're all going to fucking leave.
you got your nieces down there.
That's right. I'm going to knock out the wall into Milo's room and turn it into a one-bedroom, and I'll
Knock the
put the
wall out of
studio
my
inside
room.
the house in your room. You guys will have to stay out here when you come.
That's real incentive.
I'm just kidding. Hey, and
I'll
just
go stay at your brother's house.
And just to let you know, when you leave, if shit happens and you need to come back, the door's always open. Any final words?
You always have a
I'm
home.
good.
Yeah?
If you're knocking out the fucking wall to my room,
No, I'm knocking it down into Milo's room.
oh,
I'll leave the studio out here. For now. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
I can't take all that shit with me to LA. Got to keep some of it here.
Why?
I don't know.
To make sure I don't convert the room?
No, you keep it in the garage.
I'm gonna tell you
I
like
don't
I'm gonna tell you like Nana.
Keep a total of
I'll
all
make
my
it
shit.
I'll make it my sewing room.
She fucking did.
I know, right? Alright, any final words?
No, I'm good. Thanks for fucking psychoanalyzing me all day.
Tony, any final words?
Yeah, got to give a shout out. Alea Marie Leon. Birthday. She's going to be a big 2 years old.
Oh yeah.
My niece's kid.
Nice.
So
Happy birthday, Leah.
they're going to have a...
Alea?
Alea. They're going to have a little birthday Saturday, so we'll be over there. Actually, around the corner from you.
Oh, they live out here?
Yeah.
Right on.
So, yeah, remember those terrible twos? She got some teeth. She dances to the music.
Yeah?
Shakes her butt. Good times.
Man, to have that kind of energy again.
Yeah,
Man, if I had that energy at this age, who knows what kind of shit I'd be into.
you do. That's what they say. Youth is wasted on the young.
Yo, right? Because I got home and I told Sebastian, because I got home about an hour early today. Told Sebastian, I'm going to go try to take a fucking nap, dude. And I laid down for a little bit and I woke up and he came back there and he was like, "Hey, so, have you talked to Tony?" Or what'd you say?
I said, so how was work? Because I wanted to tell you how fucked up my day was.
Yeah, and I was like, "Yeah, dude, I'm fucking wiped out, dude. I don't know if I can go in there and be funny today. Like, I'm fucking tired." So maybe I should call Tony. And he said, "Well, I don't know. Go ahead." I was like, "Fuck no, we got to do the gift and do all that shit." Shout out to Manny. Thank you for sending me the forks.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
They're
Knives,
knives.
kid.
Oh, the
That's
knife.
the joke.
Knives.
Right? Yeah,
and
knives.
he's going to Los Angeles.
That's right.
Yeah, not Vegas. You said
Not
Vegas every
Vegas.
other time.
Did I say that everything?
Yes.
Oh, maybe I'm...
I'm not moving to Vegas.
No?
I will drive through Vegas to
I
go
want you to make me a
somewhere.
promise.
No.
I want you to make me a promise,
I'm
though.
not going to do that.
Yeah, don't. No, hey, man, I'm an adult. I don't need to make promises.
If you go to L.A. or when you go to L.A., I want you to go find somewhere where you can play your fucking guitar in a bar. I want you to go find somebody that you can...
Ooh, that's a fucking harsh promise to keep.
Why?
I don't know, because I'm not that good.
Oh, you ain't gonna get paid.
Okay.
You gotta just ask, hey, Tuesday nights, can it come plug in? They'll be like, all right, shit.
No.
Then they're gonna
We're not
fucking
gonna
make
pay you,
paper
but
flyers. Fucking
That's not why I was saying I'm not that good, Tony. Thanks.
said one night only.
Yeah.
I'll do the commercial for you for free.
No, because I don't need these assholes around us coming out there. I'm good.
We'll all go. We'll all roll.
Nope.
We'll get a fucking van,
I don't need nobody rolling nowhere.
roll out there like some fucking farm workers and hook it up.
I'm good.
Might even take some farm workers with us just to fuck it up.
No, because I'm not playing that kind of music.
All right. Anything else, Tony? Anybody else?
No.
You
we're
good?
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, everybody. I don't know if I was supposed to give a shout out to anybody or whatnot, so I'm not going to.
We'll find out.
Yep. If I was supposed to and I didn't, please shoot me a
Don't let us
text.
know.
Yeah. MigosMadhouse@yahoo.com. If you want to make any comments, concerns, you want to know how to help us out, you can go on there. And we'll talk to you soon. Love you guys. Bye. And that's a wrap.